Hi, my name is Debbie Echo, and I'm a 3-time level 1 returning Yada. Yes, you heard me right, 3 times doing 1 level, and happily so. Inner circle is not somewhere you just come in, jump out, and say, okay, I've got enough tips and hacks, and I'm going off on my way. No. The inner circle is such a very profound journey, such a profound experience. It's just somewhere where you get radicalized. Permit me to use that word. You change your thinking, you change your mindset, you become self-aware, you become more confident as a parent. I, for one, joined Inner Circle at a time in my life where I just knew that, things that were happening to me at the time were not normal. Because how do you explain having such, bundle of joy, as we call them, and then we are mean to them in the sense that we yell at them, we cause physical harm to them? I know that you say spanking is not physical harm, but hear me out. But those things are not normal. It didn't sit well with me, but it was what I saw. It was what I grew up with. So obviously it was what I was, able to give forth. And I said, no, I need to stop it. And at that time in my life, when I was looking for help, I came across the Inner Circle. And, one of the biggest truths that, drew me to the Inner Circle was when, Coach Wendy used to say, parenting is about you. Because yes, how will it be about a child that cannot tell from her left to her right? So, that really resonated with me. And I came in, and no regrets, no retreat, and no surrender. Inner Circle is something I would happily do for my kids at 18. Yes, you heard me right. But the thing about the Inner Circle is that it finds you, it transforms you. This normalized nonsense that we see all around, where we're happy to, raise our hands against, little children. Help me to heal from, generational traumas, from things that have held me back, even behaviors that I had been held back by. I found healing, from my past. I found healing from my childhood. It was just been such a profound experience. And you're listening to me, you're wondering, do I need to join, learn how to parent? Is learning way beyond parenting. Learning about parenting is way beyond that. You find healing for your soul. Inner Circle is where you come home to yourself. Inner Circle is where you get to find the you that you didn't even know existed. Inner Circle is not somewhere you just come in and come out. But you need to start first to see what I'm saying. And this is my invitation to you as you listen to me. Dear moms, dear dads, and even intending moms and dads, come in and see for yourself. You will have no regrets. Thank you.
Come in and see for yourself. You will have no regret. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is an awesome time. How to discipline right to avoid emotional damage as a parent. You heard that particular testimonial now. It talks about discipline and how that actually created some kind of damage. I call it drama that leaves trauma in the life of your child. You don't want to leave your child in that space where there is a lot of trauma just because of the drama and the things that you didn't know. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was something that our moderator said in the morning. Say where you are coming for a class, all right? After you come with your abada, right? You come with your pen, then come with a human being. The person that is going to be transformed through you. That's the most important part of the tools that you're coming with. All right. So apart from your energy, abada that you get in here, right? I learned that one from Isa. And of course, you need to now get your pen and paper, and then you need to now get in here with the human being that you're going to transform. So did you bring the human being you're going to transform with you? Welcome to the cathedral. We are here every Tuesday, 2 p.m. I love the way we do it. We've done this for years. 7 years, counting. We ain't tired. We're here for a very long time. I was talking the other day, and I said to the person, I'm not an influencer, I'm an impact maker. So we're here for a long time. So get used to seeing us. Get used to seeing us right in here. Right? So today, we're going to be talking about how to discipline right. How to discipline right to avoid emotional damage as a parent. If you can see me, you can hear me. Just put in the comment section and say energy. Yep. I just want you to put that in the comment section. This class is going to be hot. Like hot. I don't know that yadas, when I say a class is going to be hot, yadas take dressing. And if you're not in the yard, like Makawai, and I'm sure that this class is going to hit hard for people who are already in the yard. For you who is just coming in, right? If you are an incoming yada, just share fire emoji. You are just incoming. Just put the fire emojis in the. You need to find the fire emoji. because in the yard, that's the emoji we trade with. You know, I can see the fire emojis everywhere. I was doing a review of what I'm going to share at the induction of Inner Circle program this year. I've been reviewing it for the past almost 1 full year. What you will hear and what you will see at that induction will stop you on your tracks. It doesn't matter whether you've been in the Inner Circle for 6 years. Believe you me, it is going to be fire. Come with your humility abada and red trimmings, yellow blanket with red trimmings. How yellow blanket came to be, I don't know. Anyways, here we have it. It is Tuesday Live. Tuesday Live is for everybody. Share with your family and friends. Share with everybody that you know. It is a public, free-for-all webinar that happens every Tuesday. It's a part of our give back system. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you what I call 5 Ds. Every intentional parent must master. 5 Ds. Every intentional parent must master for you to discipline right to avoid emotional damage. I want to read a part of this book for you before we get on this conversation. This is one of my favorite books by Coach Wendy Ologe. By Wendy Ologe, the Wendy Ologe. And I love this book, Discipline is Not an Emergency. Maybe because I'm also coming from a place where discipline was done wrongly, right? I was raised by a dad who was a yeller. My mom wasn't. And then I saw 2 types of parents. My dad was a yeller. My mom was calm, cool, calm, and collected. My mom doesn't raise hands. My parents don't hit anyway. That's why when I see people say you must beat a child for the child to become responsible, they lie to you. That's not true. That's a conversation for another time. But let's continue. Now, when I was writing this book, the first part of this book was a note to parents. And that note to parents, I said, a seed grows with no sound, but a tree falls with a huge noise. Destruction is noisy. If your discipline strategy on your parenting journey is noisy, it simply means that is destruction. Discipline does not create drama that eventually gives your children trauma in their lives. Aggression is not discipline, it's destruction. Discipline grows the child, it doesn't cut them short. Discipline builds, it doesn't destroy. Discipline makes a child, it doesn't break a child. Discipline is not reaction to a thing. Discipline is responsibility to a thing. Discipline is about the systems, the skills, the shadows, the structures, the strategies, and here that will say solutions that you build. Discipline is not how you feel, it is how you build. Discipline is not how critical you are, it is how connected you are. Discipline is not about criticism, it's not about control, and I dare say, it's not even about corrections. Discipline is about content, it's about conversations, it's about connections, and it's about culture. Over the past few years, working with parents as a coach, one thing has remained constant. The subject of discipline is the most abused, the most bastardized, the most crushed subject I have seen on my journey as a parent coach. We have abused it because we are not able to define what discipline is. I believe that the definition of a thing is what gives the thing the understanding. I've been privileged to work with thousands of parents all over the world. And one thing is key. We all need discipline to raise our children who can impact their world. However, I have come to the realization that discipline means much more than how we react when our children make mistakes. One of the reasons I wrote this book is to help you understand how you can raise disciplined children without breaking them, because I know it is possible. So join me today as I take you on a ride. How to discipline right to avoid emotional damage as a parent. Have you invited someone here today? Have you? Now, most parents set out to damage, don't set out to damage their children. When you start parenting, the first thing in your mind is not to damage your children. No, nobody does that. Everybody wants to raise their children a certain way. Everybody wants to give something to a certain way and all of that. But unexamined, reactive, fear-based discipline slowly, surely chips away at your child's confidence, at your connection, and at your clarity. So discipline is a tool, it's not punishment. Because discipline imparts the thinking brain, punishment imparts the emotional brain. So punishment is a weapon, discipline is a tool. Yeah. Somebody help me write that in the comment section. Punishment is a weapon, discipline is a tool. And the hand that holds either determines the future of a child. Let me come again. Punishment is a weapon, discipline is a tool, and the hand that holds either determines the future of the child. This is very, very important and very, very key to the things that I'm sharing with you today. All right. This is so, so, so key. Who is here? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you feel the fire already? And if you can, let me see you put up the fire emojis and let me see you invite someone already. Did anybody catch that quote? Discipline is a tool, punishment is a weapon, and the hand that holds either determines the future of that child. Thank you so much for putting that on the stream, Dr. Kemi Roteme. I love it. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's so good to see you here, right? And most of the times when we actually talk about our parenting, mostly we don't think about some of these things that we are putting up here. We don't think about them. Because when you really look at some of these things, you realize that our definition is where the problem is. Now, let me go back to defining punishment and discipline. That will help us a lot. That will help us a lot. If you want to master this deeply, one thing you want to do is to get the book Discipline is Not an Emergency. Very important. Now, number one, punishment is about control. Discipline is about teaching. Are you really ready for this class? Are you guys ready? Are you really ready? Punishment is about control. Discipline is about teaching. Let me break it down. Punishment focuses on stopping the behavior by force, by fear, by shame, or by pain. Discipline focuses on teaching the skills, the values that a child lacks. That's discipline. So punishment says, you will obey me now, or you will see fire. Discipline says, you will understand how to do it better the next time. So discipline equips your child. Punishment destroys your child. So this is one thing that you must understand. So anytime you think about discipline, people have asked me, what's the difference between discipline and punishment? All right. Another of my book that you really need if you're struggling with this is Discipline That Works. So, I wrote 10 tools of discipline that works that you can use in this book. And one of the things I said in that, conversation is that when it comes to discipline and the tools, there are different things to use. And I said verbal correction. Somebody said, I've been talking. What do you mean verbal correction? Talking is not discipline. Yeah. Talking is not discipline. You can talk and be very indisciplined. Yes. And I've seen it happen all the time. Let's go to number 2. Punishment looks at the past. Discipline looks at the future. Did anybody get that? Punishment looks at the past. Discipline looks at the future. Punishment reacts to the wrong that was done. Discipline prepares the child for the next time. So punishment is always in a hurry to say what you did. You now did it. So you focused on what has gone. Discipline focuses on the future. How do we get you to the point where you understand that this is wrong and you don't need to repeat it? Discipline is you spilled water again. I'm going to help. You're going to teach you how to carry this cup, clean it properly, ensure that next time when you're carrying a cup, you don't spill it. Punishment is you spill water. I give you a dirty slap, I collect the broom, and then I mop it, and then you go scot-free. You just punish the child for the past. You have not taught the child anything. Number 3, punishment creates fear. Discipline creates responsibility. So I have an upcoming book that I'm writing, and that book is going to be available next year, I hope. Right? I've been writing it for a while now. And that book, I'm writing about correction is not discipline. Did you hear me? Correction is not at the point of correction. You have missed the lesson of discipline. Did anybody get that? Today is I'm very gingered today. You know, technically it's on Monday now. Come on now. The new cohort is starting on Monday, and I'm all hyped up. You can't beat it. If you are not in the yard in 2026, you will miss so much that you will regret it. I'm sure that will be the most regrettable year of all Inner Circle years. You know, we're building a totally new curriculum, and it is mind-blowing. Correction is not discipline. I'm sure you've not heard it before. If you've heard it, you heard it from me. Correction is not discipline. At the point of correction, the lesson on discipline is already missed. So you need to understand that the point where you're correcting your child, discipline didn't happen at all. So correction is what you do after you have built a thing. Most times you're correcting on empty. What are you correcting? You only correct what you have built. You don't correct what is not being built. And that's why we miss it. We think that correction, once a child does something, you're just moving into correction. Correction is the last result, is the last angle of what we call the disciplinary system. So if your discipline is about correction, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are correcting what you didn't build. And many parents don't know this. I'm sure. So correction is what you do after something must have been built. Or you're correcting empty stuff. What exactly are you correcting? When nothing is taught, nothing was modeled, nothing was instructed, nothing was built. Correction is not the first step of discipline, it's the last result. The final piece of the full system that should have started long before anything went wrong. Discipline is not what you do when something goes wrong. It is what you do even before a mistake happens. So discipline is a system. Correction is an intervention. And when you skip the system, the intervention becomes frustrating. That's why you have corrected forever and you're frustrated. So parents jump into correction thinking that they are doing discipline. But discipline is structure, is teaching, is modeling, is rehearsing, is guiding, is instructing. It is setting expectation and reinforcing behavior consistently. Correction is simply the adjustment you make after the foundation has been laid. Most of us are making no foundation. So you only correct what you have built. You don't correct what you never constructed. You don't correct what you never, and that's why many parents struggle. You keep correcting. No disciplinary framework to stand on. So you think your child is stubborn. What is stubborn is the emptiness you never feel. That's what is stubborn. So correction is the emergency room. Discipline is a lifestyle. Don't raise your child to only know that you're a firefighter. You only fight fire. When there's fire, you're raising your child. Fire. If you correct a child, you never discipline. You're parenting. You're not parenting, you are reacting. Because you cannot correct what you didn't construct. You are correcting misbehavior that proper discipline could have prevented. A child trained is easy to correct. A child on do this thing, huh? The two phones. You know, there are two different windows. So sorry about that. So sorry about that. I think I was a little bit, put off. But no, we're back. So like I said, you can't correct what you didn't construct. Most parents are correcting misbehavior that proper discipline could have prevented. So a child trained is easy to correct. A child untrained is impossible to manage. Correction without discipline is punishment. When discipline is absent, correction becomes chaotic. So you are living a chaotic life. That's what you're doing. Number 3, punishment creates fear. Discipline creates responsibility. Punishment makes the child scared of the parent. Discipline makes the child aware of the consequences of their choices. Why do you think most of us actually struggled in making choices and understanding consequences? It's because we were not raised to understand discipline. Let me go again. Punishment makes the child scared of the parent. Discipline makes the child aware of the consequences of the choices. Punishment, fear of you. Discipline, understanding the behavior. The reason that we were not disciplined enough to make choices and understand the consequences of those choices is because nobody disciplined us enough to understand that choices is part of discipline. Decision-making system is part of the disciplinary strategy. But we missed it because the people who raised us thought that, oh, they just need to punish us. That's why most of us actually ended up marrying an efulefu. Sorry if that hits you wrong, but it's the truth. It's the truth because we couldn't make choices. We didn't understand the consequences of choices. We just looked at fear. And most of our choices were made out of fear. Fear of not being able to eat. And let me marry somebody that has money so that at the end of the day, I will be feeding. That's fear. Let me marry somebody that, stays at home so that all those things. You didn't look at your choices to make them. As simple as that, and when you were young, related to the bigger choices you made. This thing is beginning to sound like Inner Circle webinar. Let's go. Are you there? Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Who have you invited? Because today promises to be one of those days that you hear me and you don't sleep well, huh? Yeah, all right. Somebody said this one touched me. Oh, I'm sorry. So, the truth of the matter is that punishment produces fear of you. Discipline produces understanding of behavior. And the reason many of us actually grow in nobody, so we don't understand that choices are part of the discipline that we actually make. It's a lifestyle. So our parents believe that their job was to punish us into obedience, not to discipline us into wisdom. So that's why you look at our lives and you wonder, how did I end up with this person? How did I make this choice? We just because we didn't understand choices. It stinks, but it's true. You didn't choose with clarity. We chose with fear. Fear of suffering, fear of survival, fear of being alone, fear of hunger, fear of disappointing your family. So the choices sounded like, let me marry someone so that I won't starve. Let me marry someone so I'll start and feel insecure. Let me marry someone so that's why our choices were hindered. These choices were not made from values. No, they were not. They were planted in our childhood. When a child grows up with punishment, they learn to avoid pain. When a child grows up with discipline, they learn to analyze choices. Did you hear me? When a child grows up being punished, they actually learn to actually avoid pain. When a child grows up with discipline, they learn to analyze choices. Your childhood model becomes your adulthood method. Your childhood model becomes your adulthood method. If you grow up punished, you will make adult decisions from fear. If you grow up disciplined, you will make adult decisions from understanding. And many of the big choices we regret today started with small choices we never learned to make as children. Punishment raises fearful adults. Discipline raises wise adults. Children punished into obedience grow up into adults afraid of choices. Fear-based parenting produces fear-based marriages. If you learned what punishment, what all you learned was punishment, you will be confusing fear with wisdom. Many adults didn't make wrong choices. They were never taught how to choose. So your childhood discipline determines your adulthood decisions. Did you get me? Your childhood discipline determines your adulthood decisions. Punishment fosters silence. Discipline builds thinking. Are you raising your children to think? Or are you just raising your children to just run? with fear the way you have run with fear. That's it. Some of you are doing things that is just out of fear. Just out of fear. Choices where you are, out of fear. What can happen? Your childhood becomes your adulthood. Your childhood. Now, you know that the truth of the matter is that you must come from that place where you understand what these things are. So your childhood discipline determines your adulthood decisions. Your adulthood decisions. Let's go. Number 4, punishment is emotional. Discipline is intentional. Punishment often happens when a parent is angry, when a parent is triggered, when a parent is frustrated, and when a parent is overwhelmed. Discipline happens when a parent is calm, when a parent is connected, when a parent is thinking, and when a parent is teaching. So punishment, reaction, discipline, strategy. So you're just reacting, you're not strategic. And quite a number of words. Actually, I've gotten to that place where we are just reactive. Are you reactive? Are you reactive? If you are reactive, you're punishing. That's the truth of the matter. If you are reactive, what you're doing is punishment. Are you ready? Can you hear me? Let's go. Number 5, punishment damages connection. Discipline strengthens connection. So punishment makes children hide mistakes, lie, fear you, shut down emotionally. Discipline makes children trust you, learn from you, share your problems, feel safe. Feel safe. So discipline builds relationships. Punishment breaks it. Let me break it down. Discipline builds relationship. Punishment breaks relationship. Why do you think that most of us grew up in homes where, yes, we said that we turned out okay? All the things our parents did to us, all the things, abuse, all kinds, right, made us okay. But yet, have you realized that most of us cannot have a conversation with the people that raised us? Conversation with them. Your conversation is usually just one comment or two, or maybe your conversation is on responsibility. How many of you really actually sit down to connect with your parents on just normal general conversation that is not you discussing bills, responsibility, what you need to do, or what they need to do? Is that relationship really there? And if it's not, then you grew up with punishment, not discipline. Most of us, millennials, did grow up with punishment. I'm sure that some of us can relate. Oh, most of us can relate with this. Very obvious. Very obvious. If the relationship you have with that child, there is something wrong, then there's something, yeah, we might say nothing happened to me. My parents did their best. I turned out okay. I agree with you. But the most uncomfortable question you can answer today is, can you really sit down, have a real conversation with the people who raised you? It's not conversation about bills. It's not conversation about responsibilities. It's not about what you need to do for them or what they need to do for you. I mean, the new warm human conversation where you laugh, share thoughts, feel safe, feel seen, share your troubles. You can't. It's because punishment breaks relationships. Discipline builds them. That's why as adults, you can't talk freely with your parents. You can't share vulnerability. You can't say what hurts you. You can't ask questions without feeling judged or silent. You can't relax around them. You relate with them through duty, not connection. Through duty. And we call it being okay. But it's not okay. It simply means you grow up with punishment, not with discipline. Because true discipline creates relationship. It builds trust. It builds emotions. It builds connections. It teaches understanding. It fosters connection. Punishment does the opposite. It breaks trust. It shuts down communication. It creates emotional distance. It teaches fear, not understanding. It kills connection. And that's why many millennials struggle deeply with connection today, because we grew up obeying our parents, not relating with our parents. So what was very important was that, we grow. Some of us even claim that we are close to our parents. Yeah. When you join the inner circle, Something with thank you so much, the eloquent creative. If I used to think I was close to my mom until I joined the inner circle. What you call closeness, it's not proper relationship. Oh, we talk, hey, but go and look at your conversation. Most of us can't share vulnerable things with those parents. No, we can't. Oh, the day you dared, that's it. We followed instructions, but we never learned intimacy. We never learned intimacy. We fulfilled responsibility, but we never built relationships. We feared punishment, but we never experienced discipline. That's why you wake up, you finish school, you can't read a book. One book, you can't finish it. I wrote in Raising the Lifelong Learner that the reason we are not learning is not because, somebody was sharing something today. We have traumatic learning process. You don't see learning as fun. Somebody was asking me, so in the inner circle, we'll read. Hey, I don't want to read though. I'm tired. We have become brain lazy because of the people who raised us, who taught us that learning is something you struggle with. That learning is not something you struggle with. It's not something you struggle with, but we're struggling with it. People are asking me, hey, so in the inner circle we read. Hey, it's compulsory. I will not read though. I don't have time. Oh, I don't have you're disconnected. When you look at your relationship with your parents and you see distance, fear, cautiousness, formality, just know that distance is the footprint of punishment, not discipline. And now it's our responsibility to do differently for our children in our own hands. Number 6, punishment changes behavior temporarily. Punishment changes behavior temporarily. Discipline changes behavior permanently. Punishment starts behavior out of fear, but only for a moment. Once the fear leaves, the behavior returns. Discipline teaches skills like emotional regulation, problem solving, delayed gratification, critical thinking, responsibility. Many times people tell me, I'm very disciplined. I'm a very disciplined person. I can't try this where my parents are. But you can't even work on your weight to reduce your weight. If you find out that, oh, okay, I'm getting bigger than usual, and there's something that I need, it's discipline. You can't even put yourself to save a certain amount of money because you don't have control. You can't delay gratification. It's discipline. So when you look at the conversation of discipline, that's what makes life. That's what makes you. Like we say in the inner circle, you are 40, you're eating puff. Inner circle parents, are you here? Are you here? It's discipline. Now get it to a point where you realize, at this point where I am, there are things I need to put in place. I went for an event, and I was in a program. And when I was coming in for breakfast, I was in my gym wear. I'd already done gym for that morning. I've done almost how many squats for the day. I do up to like 500 squats in the morning and do like 300 to 500 every evening. Now, here's the thing. When the person saw me, the person looked at me and said to me, you mean you woke up with all of this weekend being chaotic and you were at the gym this morning? You're a very disciplined person. Most people can't. You know why? Because you didn't really learn it. It's a muscle you build. So discipline is not how you react. It's a muscle you build. You build a muscle to be disciplined. You build a muscle to be able to pray. Well, all this, hey, I've not been able to read my Bible. You lack discipline. It's as simple as that. I've not been able to, hey, I cannot even know. Inner circle, hey, I don't have money. Hey, it's all, these are all disciplinary issues. Oh, they are. I don't have money to read, to buy a book. Do you know it's a discipline issue? Then you will buy shawarma and eat. Because shawarma is self-gratifying. Then you will buy pizza and eat. Because pizza is instant. It gives you that instant gratification you need. Pizza is 24-something thousand naira. This is 8,500. You will rather buy something that will gratify you instantly than sit with this that will give you life. You see? That's discipline. That's discipline. Does it mean punishment is a no in parenting? Yes, it is a no. It is a no. There is nowhere punishment has a place in parenting. Discipline is the word. you discipline a child, it's a different conversation altogether. A different conversation. I have two set of twins, almost 16. When the twins were, at the time the twins were 10, we don't walk into the house without food on the table. Every single day, without a word. That's discipline. Without reminders. That's discipline. You know why? It was inculcated and a system was built from day one. From day one. From day one. But you want to just, beat, slap, jump, boo, there's a place. Is you reacting? It takes a lot to be disciplined. It takes a lot for you to decide, you know what? I'm traveling, I'm going to buy, my box is going to be full of books rather than it will be full of clothes. It takes a lot to get there. It takes a lot. If you can eat, I say it all the time. If people say, how do you read? How do you read this number of books in a month? I'm a voracious reader. I read a lot. You know why? I was cultured and disciplined to read. If you can read, if you can eat, all this, I don't have time. Hey, I don't have time for anything. I don't have time for book. If you can eat, you can read. It's a choice. It's a choice. The place of serious putting yourself under. Some of you will rather buy Christmas clothes than register for Inner Circle. In fact, that's the last thing you will do. You don't know what it is. You just want to gratify yourself. So by the time you reach village, right? Or you reach, you wear clothes, you start Instagram, you look, you pepper them and all of that. We have a problem with the kind of discipline we were sold. We have a problem with it. Punishment focuses on pain. Punishment has no place in parenting. No place. No place. No place. Punishment focuses on pain. Discipline focuses on growth. Punishment says, how do I make you feel bad enough so that you can stop this thing? Discipline asks, what do you need to learn so it won't happen again? So you are constantly thinking, I will deal with you. That's the way you think when a child does something. Your mindset is, if you remember it, you will never do it again. These are the things that our parents did. Did he really stop you? Did he really get you disciplined? No, he didn't. You're still as indisciplined as you can think about. Oh, you are. Oh, you are. Oh, you are. You cannot put your skin under. You can't put yourself under. You can't make choices that is hard. You're still very indisciplined. Number 8, punishment is about the parent's feeling. Discipline is about the child development. Punishment is how you feel. Because punishment satisfies your ego. It gives you the feel that you are in control. Discipline meets the child's need to grow. If you are going to discipline, then you must be disciplined. Discipline creates competence. If your child fears you are not disciplining your child, you are damaging the child. So punishment stops the behavior. Discipline builds the human. Do you want to stop the behavior or do you want to build the human? What do you want? A child who survives cannot trust you. Your anger cannot teach your child what your example refuses to show. Your children don't misbehave, they communicate. And you need to listen. And you need to listen. Let's go. What are the 5 Ds every intentional parent must master? 5 Ds. Number 1, you must master to delay reaction. When you react immediately, you react emotionally. When you delay reaction, you respond intentionally. Did you get that? When you react immediately, you react emotionally. When you respond intentionally, when you delay to react, you respond intentionally. Discipline fails when a parent is triggered. The moment you are triggered, your discipline has failed. Most of us actually have failed discipline because most of the times we are triggered. Oh yes, we are triggered. We're angry, we're upset. We're triggered. What do? Pause, drink water. Step away and breathe. Come all the way down. Like we say in the yard. Come all the way down. Your child needs direction, not explosion. Stop exploding. They're not in a market. Stop exploding. But if I show you my color, I show you, all those show you. Your child is learning nada. Nada. Your child is not learning anything. And if you're wondering how easy this is, far, it's not easy. It's one of the most difficult things to do. Hitting a child is easier than actually putting disciplinary systems. What is there in hitting a child? You just slap the child and move on. Abi? Or you throw slippers and move on. But if it's about discipline, then you will need to create the system. That creation of system includes building you so that you can have emotional regulation. If not, you're going to continue to be reactive. Many of us are reactive because we are coming from a place where we are reactive. And how do you learn to deal with your emotions? You can't learn it by just listening to this tips and hacks. No, you need a curated community and a curated curriculum so that you can build a curated culture. The problem is that you already have a culture that gets you to react. And that was created by the curated content you were raised with, and also the curated environment, which is community, that you were also raised with. For you to change anything, you pass it through a curriculum. What we do in the inner circle is to pass you through a curriculum that colors your life. That's what we do. Curriculum is the only thing that actually correlates to transformation. If you're going to change, there must be a curriculum to that change in life. So if you have passed through a curated content, what we're doing is that we are replacing that. It's not enough to remove. It is important to remove and replace. If you remove without replacing, that thing will fail. So what we do in the inner circle is to remove the curated culture that you have already. And then we build another curated culture and content and help you. And also build curated environment that can help you stay stable. If you have a curated content without a curated community, to fail. Because environment is bigger than value system. Did anybody catch anything? Was I too fast? It's fine. A delayed response often will prevent emotional damage. So that's why you see this book, Discipline is not an emergency. It's a must for you as a parent. It's a must for you. And discipline that works. Because we're all people coming from a place where there's a lot that happened to us. And in that a lot that happened to us, it's important we deal with it. Number 2, decide the goal. Ask yourself, what am I trying to teach? Most parents, you discipline a child without a goal. You just punish. Punishment often happens without a goal. You just want the child to stop. Discipline must teach a skill. If that discipline is not teaching a skill, it's not discipline. Self-control. Self-control. Responsibility. Respect. Consequence understanding. If there is no skill, it's punishment, not discipline. If there is no skill, it is punishment, not discipline. So ask yourself, when I correct this child now, when I rebuild this, what is the goal? My child has poured water on the floor. Is it upsetting me that the child, or is it upsetting me that the child doesn't have the required skill to be able to clean up this space and ensure that when they are passing again, this water is not going to spill? What is the goal? What is the goal? So you must decide the goal. If he's not teaching any skill, you are punishing your child. Number 3, discuss the behavior. After every incident, there must be a conversation, not a condemnation. Did you hear me? After every incident, there must be a conversation, not a condemnation. The process of disciplinary system does not end with correction. The process of disciplinary system does not end with correction. Correction is just a start point to the place where you're supposed to begin to do the remedy part. Remember? When you start it, when you start that process, it needs to lead to conversation. It needs to lead to a build. It needs to lead to what will happen next. Children mirror what they understand, not what they fear. Most times what you're giving them is what they fear. This is very important. So you must discuss what happened. Why did it happen? What to do differently? What are the consequences for it the next time? That's what creates emotional intelligence, not emotional injury. So connection is the beginning of the last part of a disciplinary system. So many people think that disciplinary process ends at correction. No, correction is not the finish line. Correction is the start point of the last line. The moment you identify what went wrong, but after identification, then there has to be a real disciplinary system that begins. Because correction is not a remedy, it is the doorway to the remedy. Yeah. Correction is not the remedy, it is the doorway, is the doorway to the remedy. So once you correct a child, it must lead somewhere. It must lead somewhere. Conversations that bring clarity, teaching that build understanding, modeling that reinforces behavior, systems that guide future choices, plans that prevent repetition. What are your plans? Correction without conversation is noise. You're making noise. Noise. Correction without structure is confusion. Correction without building is punishment, hiding in big grammar. A disciplined home is not where your children fear mistakes. It's a home where when mistakes become learning points. That's what it means. Mistake become learning, because children mirror what they understand, not what they fear. Fear produces temporary compliance. Understanding produces long-term transformation. When you use fear, you might gain obedience today, but you lose influence tomorrow. When you build understanding, you gain relationship, trust, clarity. And that's what makes your child mirror the right value. Sometimes, what parents are giving their children in us, you are just fear in the name of correction. So your children react to it themselves. Understanding is what builds a child. Fear is what breaks them. So correction opens the door. But the real disciplinary work happens in what comes after the correction. So correction, again, is not discipline. Correction is the last point, the last resort of discipline. And that's not where it ends. Correction must open a door. It's a doorway. It's a doorway. It's a doorway. If you understand that correction is the doorway, then you stop correcting the way you're correcting. So in that my upcoming book, I was talking about discipline is not correction. It's not correction. It's not the remedy. Since I've corrected you several times, you've corrected several times, and then what? That's the question. That book is going to be a blockbuster. I can even see it already. You corrected many times, and then what? And then what? That's the conversation we're having today. All right? So you need to discuss the behavior. Number 4, you need to define the consequence. Consequences should be logical, should be connected, should be planned, should be corrective, should not be random, should never be painful. Should not be random. Dr. Ginika, sorry about that. So what are you saying? Can I pay with Western Union? And pay with Western Union what? What are you paying with Western Union? If you're asking about the inner circle, there is a link that you can use that takes you to our Stellar page. You can pay from anywhere. You're paying from the US or anywhere. You can also do Zelle. You can also pay directly into our account. Nobody has the time to go to Western Union collection. That's a very long distance. But we have outlets that you can pay. We have accounts, euro account, pound account, dollar account, whichever account you want. Right? You're going to get it. And we have a Bank of America account where you can do direct transfers to. So we're internationally very compliant, if that is what you're asking. All right? So you must design the consequences. You need to design the consequences. Consequences, you waste food, help with meal planning and serving. What is the system of wasting food? How is it that your child is not going to waste food again? I've told them, nobody pours food in this house. Hey, but every day they're pouring your food in the dustbin. You're not doing anything. Breakthroughs on TV. What? You're just shouting. I have collected the remote, but they will still find it. Disrespect. What is the restorative action for disrespect? What's the restorative action? We're talking about teaching responsibility, not resentment. Most of you are teaching resentment instead of responsibility. So responsibility. Number 5, do the follow-up. Right discipline is incomplete without the follow-up. After the hit, reconnect. After the correction, reassure. After the consequences, coach. you're a coach. Children should never be disciplined and left feeling unloved. Follow up teaches, I correct you because I love you, not because I am angry. There are strategies that we use in my home. Time will not permit me to actually share those strategies. It's part of what we're sharing next year in the inner circle. And if you're not there, you're going to lose out. Yes. So correction is not discipline is a core subject in the inner circle 2026. We want to break down exactly why parents are struggling. This is just like a tip of the iceberg of what it is that we're teaching next year. It's a fresh, totally new conversation. We haven't taught it before in the inner circle, but we're teaching it this coming year because I want to be able to, give parents a lot of tools so that we're not just sitting and say, hey, it's gentle parenting. Hey, people have been saying, hey, they say we should not be children. Hey. And then what? They say we should correct the children, correct. And then what? Even when you build systems, did you put in structures that will uphold those systems so that they will work? These are the things that we're going to be teaching. All right? So I'm already 51 minutes gone. So I need to begin to round up. Right? And if you're listening to me, one of the things that you want to do is that you need to read. Read. All right? You want to start with the raising series. Okay? There are too many things to learn about parenting. Raising the lifelong learner, raising the independent thinking child, raising the trophy child. You can follow us at Books by Wendy Ologe on Instagram, or just look at the details on my screen and you'll see how you can reach out to get our books. Raising the emotionally skilled child, raising the boy you don't need to bail out, raising the girl with sense. All of the raising series are available on Amazon and also available with all our distributors everywhere around the nations of the earth. And the book that we are reading in January, so we're starting this December on the 1st of December. The first thing we're doing is to create a family governance system. Now, what we're doing this year is that we are creating a system, first of all, to be able to now put the legs. So we're not doing family. People have said, I have family value. Oh, well, we have moved from there. You are late. But moved from there. We're not talking about the whole governing system of the house. So when we create a system that governs the whole process, that's what we're going to be learning now this time around. So in that whole system, governing system, we're going to have discipline. We're going to have, how does this house run? So we're going to have a constitution of every home. All right. So, and that's what we're reading. And then we'll have the media blueprint. The media blueprint is also a different conversation altogether from the media plan that, what it is that it used to be. All right. The media blueprint, we're breaking it down to the point of, so when we created the media plan, there were no explicit or, this thing about AI, but now we have all that things. That's why I say parenting education is so fluid. It changes per minute per second. Part of what I thought this year was how AI will affect our parenting in 2026. And part of what we have done in our curriculum for 2026 in the inner circle is to incorporate the things that AI, the effect of it on your parenting, because it is there. We didn't teach it last year. We didn't teach it 2 years ago. There was no AI. So you see, the world is fast, very fast and furious. Very fast and furious. In January, we're going to be reading the parenting reset. I'm sure you are listening to me. You might have said, I've made a lot of mistakes. I don't know where to start. I don't know what it is that I need to do. The parenting reset is our first read. Usually, our first read is Connect to Correct. We've moved it. Connect to Correct is coming later in the year. Am I correct? And then we're doing parenting reset. Parenting reset is our first read. And parenting reset is one book that you need to read. All right? We don't have distributor in Germany or is it in Amazon? You can buy on Amazon. We don't have a distributor in Germany, but we have a distributor in Netherlands. And I think that that's close enough. All right. And this is something that is very, very key. So you think you have made a mistake? The parenting reset, how to start over even when you've gotten it wrong. Get the parenting reset. Any distributor in UK, yes, you will see the distributor list right on the screen. You see it in your comment. Just click on that link and you'll be able to get distributors. Also on the description of the video. All right. On the screen of the video, you find it. UK, we have several UK distributors. All right. We have in Scotland, we have in Thing Island, and then we also have in London. We have in different parts of England as well. So yes, and we also have in Wales. So you can get it anywhere you are in the United Kingdom. So get the books, and then we have the Parenting Advantage. Parenting Advantage is one of my greatest reads as well. I love it. I love the way that the book simplifies the 5 E's of becoming an advantage to your child. And then in this parenting series, so we have 3 books in the parenting series: Parenting Advantage, the Parenting Reset, and Parenting Lessons from the Bible. This is my, I call it my mojo. This is one of the books I loved writing. All right. And I love to talk about the Bible. I love to interpret the Bible. I love to share stories from the Bible. I love to link the stories from the Bible to what it is that we're doing now. It's the gift that I have. And trust me, that's one of the things that you're going to get in the yard, being in the yard. And of course, we have the Calm Parenting series, From Yelling to Calm, the parenting framework, the Calm Parenting framework, and we have the Discipline is not an emergency, discipline that works. Yes, and we are reading all of these books in Inner Circle for 2026. The only book we're reading that isn't here is Raising the Financially Literate Child. This is a book by Chukwemeka Onyenezi. We're also reading it, all right, in the month of March, and it's going to be an amazing, book. But Chukwemeka has other books: Money Management for Boys and Girls, Investing Basics, Building Your Financial Dam. We're also reading this in the Inner Circle of other levels, all right? And of course, there is also Connect to Correct. You can find all of these books on Amazon. Connect to Correct. And then if you are battling with text conversation, we have books on text conversation. Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, volume 1 to 5, and then Walking Your Child to Puberty. All right, this comes with a workbook. All of these books will give you access to material to what it is that you need to learn about text conversations. And then I have 30 hard copy books and even much more. We have journals. We have about 70 books on Amazon, on our Amazon store. And believe you me, they will change your mind. We have over 50 parenting guides currently, all right? We have Resolving Sibling Rivalry. We have How to Love Your Child More. We have Solving Family Problems Through Effective Communication. And of course, my latest book, which is the book that I wrote this year. I usually say that if you want to know about me more, you want to get this book, The Kingmaker, Wendy Ologi, My Message, My Methods, and My Miracles, The Transformative Journey of Africa's #1 Parent, Coach, and Mentor. This book I launched on my 40th. I've turned 40. I love to say that I've turned 40 this year. Such a thing for me. Oh, oh my goodness. Such a thing for me. The Eloquent Creator said 30 hard copy books all in my shelf. No regret. Come on now. If you have 30 hard copy books, let's go. Please, what are the first 5 books recommended for a beginner parent? Let's go. Connect to Correct. Discipline That Works. First 5 books. Raising the Independent Thinking Child. Raising the girl with sense. Raising the boy with sense. Should I stop there? I think that's it. If you are a parent who is just starting over, you've made a mistake, your children are older, and you're starting, the Parenting Reset is your first start. How to start over when you've gotten it wrong. All right? And the parent who asked that first 5 books, you might want to add Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, volume 1, because it's a starter and you will need it. I hope that helps you, all right, to be able to go. Tekena Sandra, right? I've seen Tekena Sandra in all of the webinars. I look forward to having you in the yard. Your name has, kind of embedded in my head. Tony George said, I got all 30. We move. Somebody said I will add the Parenting Advantage. I think so. I don't even know which to add and which not to add, but I think I will add the Parenting Advantage. If you have younger children, you might also want to get Raising the Lifelong Learner, so you can start early to inculcate it. All right. Can we have the first 5 books in the comment? Somebody will help you put in the comment. Connect to Correct, The Discipline That Works. Discipline That Works. I might want to merge it with Discipline Is Not an Emergency. Discipline That Works and Discipline Is Not an Emergency. Raising the Independent Thinking Child. Raising the Girl with Sense. Raising the boy, you don't need to bail out. Right? So, yes, these are some of the books that you will need. And just send a message to the number, and we will tell you which books that you can start with. But most importantly, get into the inner circle. Get into the inner circle. It's going to change your life. It's never too late. Believe you me, it's never late. Never late. If you're ready to do the work, you can do it. When a parent disciplines wrongly, the child doesn't learn better behavior. They learn how to survive you. So your children have been surviving you. But when you discipline right, you don't just manage your child behavior. You actually raise a whole confident, grounded adult. All right? And that's one thing that you must pay attention to. So if you must master this conversation deeply, you must understand that when a parent disciplines wrongly, the child doesn't learn better behavior. The child learns how to survive you. Is your child surviving you? But when a parent disciplines right, you are not just managing the behavior of your child, you are raising emotionally whole, confident, and well-grounded adults. And you must want to master this deeply. Please, I beg you, get the books so that you can start to read them and get into the inner circle, where we break generational patterns and teach you real discipline tools that work. My name is Wendy Ulugi, and I'm called Africa's #1 parent coach. And I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. What you will learn in the inner circle will blow your mind. I say it without mincing words. And I know with a certitude where your parenting will end if you follow the instructions that we have right in the inner circle. We're not doing guesswork. We're not doing kalu. We're not saying just come and try us. No, we know. I know. I'm not thinking. I know with a certitude that this thing works because I've seen it almost in the last part decade work in ways you cannot even imagine. Don't miss the inner circle for 2026. It starts in 5 days. On Monday, the 1st of December, we shut the ark. Even Noah does not have the key to the ark. And that will be the last. Registration can happen. The moment you go live on induction, you cannot register again. And registration ends, and that will be it for the year. Until next year, December 1st, 2026. Registration is once a year. If you miss it this year, you miss it again. Next year, you start again until December next year. There is no room to enter in the middle. We don't have that because it is a transformational room. Once it gets shut, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. Somebody said, I know it's going to be hot in the ark, but I will enter. Just come on. You will love it. Trust me. Be prepared to let go of all you think you know. I love it. It's better to follow a proven pattern than to just do guesswork. Be ready to look at what you know and tell yourself, this thing, I don't think this is not it. What you know will fail you. Believe you me. I can assure you. With what it is that is happening today, what you know will fail you. Get into the ark so that you can know and do what it is that you need to do. If you're ready and you're ready to do the work and you're coming into the inner circle, put in the comment section and say yes, a yada in 5 days. Yada in 5 days. I want to put that in the comment section. Yada in 5 days. Yada in 5 days. So if you're yada in 5 days, comment section. And if you're not in the yard, like Makawai, you're waiting for 5 days to reach? No, don't wait. Make sure that you put that number, send the message. It's only 140,000 for a whole year for a single slot. And if you are coming in to, the yard with your spouses, right? You're coming in with your wife or your husband, you need to pay 220,000 naira for couple slot and you get onboarded. That's the fee. You need to break it down. It's not even up to the bottle of Coke in a day. It's the cheapest self-development system I've ever seen in my life. That's the truth. Because I do a lot of self-development myself. And trust me, the things you will learn in the yard will blow your mind. It's not just about parenting. It's about everything in your life. I want to say it's 5 days to go. Yada in 5 days. Yada in 5 days. Yes, In 5 days, I become a yada. Come on, let's go. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been an honor and a pleasure. This is the first Tuesday Live, the last one in the year of the TIP calendar. The TIP calendar ends on the 30th of November every year. So this is the last Tuesday Live. We survived it. Tuesday Live every day this year, yet again. We're on our 7th year of Tuesday Live. Come on now. It's not easy. This is discipline in itself. Please give me my flowers. Come on. It's not easy. And if you think it's easy, make you run out. Come up and run it now. Consistently like that. For the past how many days? If consistency were to be a name, please call me. And I will pick my flowers anytime, any day. See you on Monday. And yes, at the inner circle induction. See you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You can join us every 8 o'clock where you listen to everybody right in the yard sharing their story. See you guys and have an amazing, amazing rest of the day.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me.
I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
CIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?